Joe Royle is the new manager of Everton. Royle was a popular player here, but now as manager, his priority is survival. Tonight he faces a baptism of fire against Liverpool. Everton will aim to reproduce the form which took them to victory the last time the teams met at Goodison Park. Mark Ward and Tony Coffey scored the goals in a 2-0 win. Liverpool are one of the form teams in the Premier League. Victory tonight will take them to within 2 points of the top. Coming up live, it's Everton against Liverpool. Hello from me, Peter Brackley, and welcome to the rarefied atmosphere of one of English football's most passionate occasions. The Merseyside derby has been running for exactly 100 years now, since the very first league meeting of these two famous old rivals. And tonight's confrontation at Goodison Park has all the usual ingredients that make this fixture such compulsive viewing. A few extra ones too, this time then with Joe Royle, the Everton old boy, back on Merseyside. What a showdown for him to have for his first match in charge. And with both teams, albeit for different reasons, so anxious for a win to enhance their respective positions. Well, Joe Royle has given much deliberation to his first Everton side. No David Burrows because of suspension, so he misses the chance to feature against his old club. Andy Hinchcliffe comes into the team, with Royle going for a back line that includes former Liverpool men Gary Ablett and the veteran Dave Watson. It's a team that possesses plenty of talent but lacked consistency under the previous regime. Royle will be hoping for inspired displays for the likes of Nigerian international Daniel Abukachi, who did well against England at Wembley last week, and the focal point of the Everton attack, Scottish striker Duncan Ferguson. Well, Liverpool's team has been more or less a settled one in recent weeks. Manager Roy Evans' only real dilemma concerned the availability again of John Scales. He's recalled at the back. Jan Mulby is preferred to Jamie Redknapp in midfield. So many players to threaten Everton in this lineup. Steve McManaman's having a marvellous season on the flanks. John Barnes so influential in a midfield role. And of course, up front, well, there's the lethal partnership of Ian Rush, making his 600th appearance for Liverpool tonight, and the Premier League's leading scorer this season, Robbie Fowler. Well, there is Joe Royle. What a night for him. He's waited so patiently for the chance to manage the team he'd played for with such distinction in the late 60s and early 70s. Indeed, back in 1966, he was the youngest ever Everton debutant at the tender age of 16 years. Well, a check on the bottom of the table will show us that Everton have the chance to rise 2 places tonight off the bottom there, above both Leicester and Ipswich. Everton with just one win so far in the Premier this season. Liverpool are in 4th place, and a win tonight would take them to within 1 point of Newcastle, the team immediately above them. Manchester United and Blackburn were both winners, of course, at the weekend. Nottingham Forest now in 5th place, lost at home to Chelsea. Goodison Park absolutely packed tonight, obviously bearing in mind the opposition, that's no surprise. But having said that, in all fairness to Evertonians, the supporters have stood by their team in the most admirable fashion, despite all their shortcomings. Indeed, the average home attendances at Goodison this season are up by 7,000 or so on the last campaign, and even higher than at the same stage in the team's last championship season, back in 1987. One of the great derby occasions, Everton against Liverpool. Liverpool with the edge overall still, having won this prestigious occasion just 6 times more. Really has been a contrast of moods, though, surrounding 2 clubs separated only by the length and breadth of Stanley Park in terms of their geographical position, but by almost the entire Premier Division when it comes down to league placings. This is the man in charge tonight, the referee Dermot Gallagher from Banbury in Oxfordshire. Liverpool then to kick off, a crescendo of noise around this famous stadium, all seated now, of course. one of the plushest, most luxurious in the country. And history in the making tonight. It's the first time that two Scousers, two men actually born in Liverpool, have been managers of the teams contesting a Merseyside derby. Ferguson in pursuit. Liverpool playing with three central defenders in Babb, Scales and Ruddock, hoping to provide the width through Barnaby on the left side and Rob Jones on the right. Joe Royle, well, I bet his heart is ticking away there. He's trying to play things down and treat it just like any other game, but it's difficult to do that. And the miskick then from David James. Some early nerves shown by him. John Scales, who's back in the Liverpool team. He didn't play in the last game against Chelsea. It was his back pass then, which James failed to deal with. So, an early opportunity here for Everton. It'll be Hinchcliffe with the corner. It was a free header, but flying well wide from Gary Ablett. Played in one of Liverpool's championship teams before his switch across Merseyside. Indeed enjoyed much success at Anfield. Won a couple of league titles, in fact the FA Cup as well. It'll be the honour to be with the throw then for Liverpool, who've had 3 away wins so far in the Premier this season. And their fortunes have picked up considerably under Roy Evans. Here's Fowler now. He's on a real roll, Robbie Fowler. 9 goals in his last 7 Premier League matches, 14 in all. And that's 5 more than Everton, the entire Everton team, have managed. So sharp and incisive around the penalty box. But this time no problem for Neville Southall. Daniel Amokachi, who hasn't been happy with his role in the Everton side. He wants to play behind the main strikers. He feels he can be much more influential from that position. Matt Jackson. Watson to pump it forward again. Neil Ruddock, who made his England debut last week against Nigeria. And of course he came up against Amokachi. He really has been providing the backbone to this Liverpool side. He's made tremendous progress since his move to Anfield from Tottenham. Phil Babb, most expensive defender in British football. Barnes. Mulby. This is Ruddock. Jackson tackling with Fowler. Frenetic atmosphere, but always renowned as a friendly atmosphere between two sets of supporters who come to the match together, enjoy it together, and go home together. Indeed, there's no segregation at all between the two sets of supporters at Goodison Park tonight. The first time it's been played in front of an all-seated house. Time for Neil Ruddock and David James, who's been playing consistently in goal for Liverpool, James, since taking over the #1 jersey from a chap called Bruce Grobbelaar, who's been in the news a bit lately. And I think will be for quite a while to come yet. And James says that's given him confidence, being given the main role. Having played second fiddle, of course, to Grobbelaar for so long. Ferguson. Well, Liverpool were a little sloppy at the back then, but it's gone unpunished. There's Watson now having to defend at the other end. Ablett quickly closed down by McManaman. Ian Rush, who scored more goals in derby matches than any other player, 25 for Liverpool. Well, this is Amokachi for Everton, his first Merseyside derby, of course. Good support here from Jackson. A tumble right on the edge of the area. Frantic appeals for penalty from the Evertonians in the crowd. Not for the players, though, it has to be said. It's a poor layoff there by Fowler. Horn onto Hinchcliffe. Now Ablett. James has come a long way out. He did so in positive fashion too. Alain Grobillard. David James, who's let in just 14 league goals this season. In contrast, Neville Southall has conceded 28 goals in 16 games for Everton. Southall, whose appearance tonight is his 35th. And that's a record number of derby matches. Well, there's the confrontation between Barnes and Jackson. Looked rather awkward. But I don't think Barnes would have been too happy if a penalty had been given then. Here is Barnes now, relishing this new role at midfield. Dionaby. Barnes again. Fowler's ahead of him. Now McManaman. Just beyond rush at the far post, Steve McManaman, who's been in such teasing form this season. Down the wings for Liverpool. Got his first cap last week in that Nigeria international when he came on for Robert Lee as a substitute. Barnes releasing Fowler. Now McManaman taking over. And he's floated it just beyond Ian Rush and beyond the far post as well. Play by Scales. And as you would expect, so much commitment being shown by these two teams. This is Barnes. Colby. Off goes Rob Jones now. Released by Hinchcliffe. Jones a little unlucky. Unsworth. That's cool defending by him. That man of rich potential. Here's Unsworth again. He shows such composure on the ball. An England under-21 international. Ferguson trying to barge his way through. And there have been reports of more trouble off the field for Duncan Ferguson. The man who's on loan from Glasgow Rangers. I gather he was arrested this morning, in the early hours of the morning. More about that will follow, I'm sure, in the days to come. Free header then for Ferguson. Amokachi. Dispossessed. And it'll be a free kick to Liverpool for the foul by Amokachi. He's a very belligerent player. He feels he wants more freedom to decide where he should go in the side. Doesn't like being restricted to the role up front. And Joe Royle has been saying he certainly has been restricted by the regimentation, if you like, of the British game. Forward by Jackson. Here is Amokachi. No doubt about his talent. James under some pressure, having to hoof it away then. Straight to Jackson. This is Melby. Barry Hall. Good try by Ferguson. That was back covering though. Unsworth in quickly then on rush. The tackles are flying in. The game being played at a cracking pace. Amokachi now. It's Parkinson with a tackle for Everton. But McManaman has it for Liverpool. Rob Jones. On by Ebrel, who's been recalled to the team by Joe Royle. He's been out for 10 matches, Ebrel, out of favour under Mike Walker. Joe Royle, of course, having been appointed last week, but he's had to wait 10 days for his first game in charge. Jackson. Goes down well, though, by the Norwegian international, Stig Bjorneby. Abakachi, who scored just once for Everton in 11 appearances since his £3 million move from Bruges in Belgium. Ruddock. Here's Unsworth. Now Gary Ablett. Ablett, in fact, is the highest scorer for Everton this season of the players on the field at the moment, with just 2. Paul Rideout has 4, but he's on the bench. Ablett with the back pass to Neville Southall, whose place may well be under threat now since the arrival of Joe Royle. Rumours abound that Royle has his eye on one or 2 other goalkeepers as a possible successor to him, including Paul Gerrard, who was with Joe Royle at Oldham. Mulvey. Played it by Fowler for Barnes. And sat covering by David Unsworth. McManaman. Confronted, though, by the tenacious figure of John Ebrel, who will be relishing this opportunity to impress under Joe Royle. Having been virtually discarded by Mike Walker. That's the way it was looking anyway. McManaman seems to have a fairly free role tonight. He's popped up all over the place. Barnes now for Jones. Up by Ebrel to Ferguson. Hitchcliffe. Ball trapped in possession then by Fowler. Bjorneby endeavouring to release Fowler again. Matt Jackson for Everton. No time for anyone to dwell on the ball, such as the passion of the occasion. Horton now. A player who will certainly enjoy a battle. I think Joe Royle has gone for his most committed players for this game tonight, looking through the side that he's selected. Certainly the likes of this man, Dave Watson, who began his career with Liverpool but didn't make the breakthrough there. Andy Hitchcliffe. This is Ebrel. Abakachi. And the shot from Parkinson was deflected off Ruddock. It'll be a corner if it goes. But James just keeping it in. Joe Parkinson, relative newcomer in the Everton team. Seeking his first goal for the club. Ian Rush, who's got a record 326 for Liverpool. There's Ebrel there, who flicked it back towards Abakachi. And then the shot, well, Parkinson didn't quite get hold of it. But it certainly had James scrambling across to make the save via the deflection off Ruddock. Ferguson with the header, only as far as Mulvey. Fowler. Now McManaman. Steered on to Jones. Mulvey. Barnes with a shot. Well, he's been in good scoring form lately, John Barnes. 4 in the last 6 matches. And he's put himself on record this week as saying that he wants to finish his career with Liverpool. And he'll be hoping that'll go on for a good few seasons yet. Got himself back to full fitness this season, Barnes. And of course, he's got back his England place. Everton throw. Had to wait a long time for their first win in the Premier this season. Finally achieved it against West Ham a couple of weeks back. In fact, they are unbeaten now in 3 matches, but it wasn't enough to save Mike Walker his job. You get the feeling the decision had already been made. Back now, scrapping with Ferguson. Back, the former Coventry defender. And Republic of Ireland international. Parkinson and Ferguson towering over him. Away by Barnes. Watson to hoist it back again, but straight to Barnes. Now McManaman, Liverpool on the break. McManaman, who's been playing with such confidence this season, really has been a revelation. Fowler, McManaman again. Didn't force an error though from Matt Jackson. He's got a whack in the eye for his troubles. Never seems such a laid-back character, McManaman. Nothing seems to ruin his composure. Bam. Now Ferguson. Bam again. Barnes linking with McManaman. Some of the passing has been a bit untidy though so far from both teams. Maybe the occasion getting to them early on. McManaman does seem to be troubled by that rush in the face that he had. Roy Evans, who's done such a fine job for Liverpool this season, steering them back into the championship frame again. On by Ebrel. Asking too much of Ferguson. Oh no, Roddick's giving it back to him. Scales to the rescue then. Horn with Ebrel. Jackson. Good block by Mulby. Fowler's on the chase. The back pass from Unsworth. Almost too short. David Unsworth. That back pass, it looked a little risky for one moment. Jones to McManaman. Fowler. Mulby's pass, a flowing move here from Liverpool. You ought to be now into the danger area, away by Ablett. The side so far with the necessary penetration up front. Matt Jackson. Ferguson couldn't hold it up though. Now Rush. He got a whack at the back of the leg there, which he was very incensed about. Didn't get much sympathy from Dermot Gallagher though, the referee. Watson on the ball now was the culprit. Ruddock. Not too tight again though. Amokachi spreading it out now then to Horn. McManaman. Mulby's pass, well read though by Unsworth. You have the feeling Unsworth could be an exceptional player in a team that was playing well and winning. Which will do his confidence no harm. Jan Mulby back on Liverpool duty. Didn't play too much in the last couple of seasons, but back to something like his best in this campaign. And when he's on form yet, Mulby. He's worth his place in any team. Neville Southall, who's had his ups and downs in this season. He can certainly point to some uncertain defending ahead of him in the early matches. Neil Ruddock then with the free kick for Liverpool. His passing game has been their hallmark down the years. And they'll retain their principles now, even in the heat of a Merseyside derby. Steve McManaman. Good work though by Everton to deny him any space. Now Mulby, a Frenetic through again to Rush, and the flag's up for offside. Ian Rush, the master predator around the box. And he himself hadn't realised this was his 600th game for the club tonight. Really has given them such outstanding service down the years. Ferguson's header. It's around 6'4", Ferguson. Very tough to deal with it in the air. McManaman now. Fowler ahead of him. That wide and support too is Bionaby. Good tackle though by Jackson. In cleanly and crisply. Bionaby, who's been a fixture in the Liverpool side this season. Playing his first Merseyside derby. His wires crossed there though with John Barnes. He's featured in many more in recent years. Liverpool throw. Ruddock, the commander-in-chief at the back. Is Fowler. McManaman. Halfway through the first half, Rob Jones. McManaman herring down the wing. He's kept it in too. Inspired piece of thinking then by McManaman. Now Mulby. Curling it in tantalisingly. And he partially cleared too by Jackson. Mulby. Ruddock. This is Horn for Everton. Sneak control by Ferguson. Whipped on by Everton to Ablett. Everton may have an injury problem at the moment. Just down on the ground. That's just the bootlace that's come undone. McManaman sprinting forward again for Liverpool. Mulby. Just saying, calm it down. Liverpool's passing game revolves around him. Getting the vote tonight ahead of Jamie Redknapp, who's on the bench. Pass by Babb. Bionaby with a bit of space now down that left side. Service was poor though, easily collected by Watson. Now Unsworth to clear. Little aimlessly though, collected by Mulby to Babb. A more direct approach from Ruddock, and to no avail. Neville Southall, who's now played more games for Everton than any other player in the club's history. Off goes Amokachi, who was very strong, but so too is Ruddock. A real clash of heavyweights there. McManaman, much lighter of frame, but with bags of skill. Pretty even Stevens so far. It's Matt Jackson for Everton. Certainly the form book gets thrown out the window for this fixture. It's all about the team's mood on the night and how the players rise or don't rise to the occasion. An injury here for Matt Jackson, the Everton fullback. Left out of the side earlier in the season. But a first choice for Joe Royle. He and Roy Evans, his opposite number tonight, used to be teammates together back in the Lancashire schoolboy side 30 years ago. Both brought up on Merseyside, and they are now leading out their teams. I bet they didn't think that all those years ago. Jackson okay. They're here tonight, all shapes and sizes, all ages. And mingling together too, in what is a marvellous atmosphere. Jones. Sean Scales was the option to his right. There's Jones again. Now McManaman. Hoping to feed off Fowler. Abukachi. Barnes. Now McManaman. Jones. Well-timed tackle though by Hinchcliffe. It's a corner. Despite the protestations of Hinchcliffe, it's a throw in fact to Liverpool. Hinchcliffe thought it should have gone the other way. Picked on by McCatchy. He's found Ferguson. Doesn't have too much support at the moment though. That'll be a Liverpool throw, I think. If it goes, but in fact it's safely back to David James. Phil Babb. Now Ruddock. Possession pretty even at this stage. No really clear-cut openings created by either team. Liverpool hoping to push their way up into the top places. They won't actually rise any if they win tonight, but they would certainly go closer to those above them. Everton striving to get off the bottom. It's their worst start for nearly 50 years. Babb did well then. Under threat from John Ebrell. It'll be Jackson with the throw. Looking for the height of Ferguson. There he is on that near post. Policed by Ruddock. And the vote goes Liverpool's way. And there'll be no sturdier competitor for Liverpool tonight than Neil Ruddock. His abrasive qualities very much to the fore this season. And he has now announced his arrival to an international level then with England. One by Unsworth. Barnes to flick it on. And really at this stage the two teams rather cancelling each other out. Bjornaby. This is Phil Babb. Now then for John Scales, the former Liverpool player, a former Wimbledon player rather, who's come to Liverpool this season. Another very expensive signing. A little ponderous then Scales. This is Hinchcliffe. Amokachi at the far post. Here is Amokachi. Could make nothing of it though. But Liverpool looked a little laboured at the back. Unusually so for them. Southall had to be very alert. Scales, he's giving it straight to Amokachi. Now has Mulvey handled it in winning it back? No. And there's his distribution, perfectly wide then to Fowler. Again, such good vision shown by Mulvey. Here he is again. A little too intricate this time though. And McManaman has it back again. Rob Jones. McManaman. Players generally on both sides being denied space by the tigerish intentions of all the players out there. Very competitive game. With half an hour gone, no score. In goes Barnes. Ricochets away to Hinchcliffe. Jones. Nobody really able to put their foot on the ball at this stage. It's all very frantic. I bet most of these derby games are. Been some tremendous matches down the years. None more so than the FA Cup replay a few years back. We finished 4-4. McManaman now taking on Horn. Goal kick. McManaman felt it came off the leg then of the Welsh international Barry Horn. The referee didn't think so though. Another really aggressive player, Barry Horn. No cause is lost for him. Ferguson again showing his strength in the air. It's Hinchcliffe. Ferguson's pulled away to the far post. This is Amokachi. Bull-like figure. He's only 21. Wanted too much time there though. You don't get that in a game of this stature. Mulvey's pass very nearly to finding Robbie Fowler his target. Watson with the intervention. McManaman. An Everton fan as a youngster. As indeed was Robbie Fowler. Oh, that's terrific work by Unsworth. Jackson now taking over. Amokachi. Ferguson. Rush scrapping with Ebrel. Don't think the referee will take any further action there other than to award the free kick. All got a bit silly. Handbags at 6 paces. But Ebrel at least showing his fight for the battle. Mulvey skirting away off Ebrel though. To Ferguson. Now Gary Ablett. Being urged on by the Evertonians. Amokachi took up a good position. To do nothing with it. Parkinson. Ebrel. Jackson was clattered then by Bjornaby. And the Norwegian will be in trouble. It was certainly a clumsy challenge. I don't think it was that sinister. He lashed out, I think, at the ball really. And it had already gone. Quiet word from referee Dermot Gallagher. Don't think there's a caution though. Yes, there is. Yellow card. Well held by James. Excellent throw out too. And again, solid covering by Unsworth. And so far, he's one of those who has risen to the occasion. Having a splendid game at the back. Got his hands full with Fowler, of course. ...16 goals in all from Fowler this season. 18 in the last campaign. Only Rush scored more. And of course, he missed part of the season through injury as well. Just 19. What a prospect, Bobby Fowler. Ferguson beaten this time by Neil Ruddock's challenge on him. Bab away. Hasn't really been a cohesive game so far. The blooded nose of John Ebrell tells the story. It's been a series of battles all over the field. One skirmish after another. But very few goal-worthy opportunities. Hardly any, really, worthy of the name. Duncan Ferguson, Ebrell with the header. And on across for Joe Parkinson to be proud of. Came to Everton at the back end of last season from Bournemouth and got his chance in the senior side early on in this season. Bond to head it forward in search of Amakachi. Scales was there with him. Now Barnes has given it away. Ferguson. Good advantage play by the referee. I think it was a foul by his marker Scales. Went into the back of Duncan Ferguson. But Everton had possession. And referee Gallagher allowed them to retain it. Three sturdy defenders at the back for Liverpool. Hinchcliffe's throw, touched in by Ferguson. Amakachi away by Mulby. Now was that a shot then by Unsworth on Fowler. Ferguson, who's getting a lot of balls in the air. But so far, they haven't been able to turn that strength into goal chances. Ebrell, Ferguson. He's on a 3-month loan from Glasgow Rangers, Ferguson. A very expensive one too. Ebrell, Amakachi, beaten by the referee. Mulby. You can see the referee sprinting back now, so he wasn't harmed. But he was certainly in the way. Getting caught up in the pace of it all. Field back. Now then for Barnes. Barnes again. Fowler. Tackled by Ebrell. Rush. He's got little change out of Everton's defence so far, Ian Rush. Very little chance of adding to his 25-goal tally in Merseyside derbies. That was a good layoff then, though, by the Welsh international. Now McManaman dancing around the tackle. So many blue shirts around him, though. He wants one in red. Barnes, Mulby, stroked on for McManaman again. Teasing and tormenting. And there was no pressure then on Watson. Maybe with so much noise around the ground, if he had a call, he didn't hear it anyway. But the corner was a little needlessly conceded then. Liverpool's first of the game. With 5 minutes of the first half to go. Bionaby will take it. Mulby. It spins wide. Yeah, Mulby felt it was worth a crack then. It was a fair way out. Driven in low by Bjornaby. Came back off Watson. And I think maybe Ablett, I believe it was, who knocked it wide again. Fowler in the 6-yard box. Runner making his challenge from the edge of the penalty area. This is Mulby. Jackson on the counter-attack. Liverpool defenders having to hurry back now. Surely the momentum has died away. Well, they've squandered their opportunity. Now it's McManaman for Liverpool. Cyril McManaman. Up comes Jones. Deflected away. Another corner. Jones who drove it in. And it flew off the boot of Joe Parkinson. Bjornaby's cross. Different angle this time. But the same result. It comes to nothing. Down by Scales. Parkinson for Jackson. Too long though for Abakachi. Needs a better service than that. Unsworth. Now Anthony Hinchcliffe. Abakachi. On to Parkinson. And the deflection took the sting off the shot then. Babb deciding there was no way forward. Well, Joe Royle might have asked for any more of his team in terms of commitment. But a little more poise wouldn't go amiss. Ferguson, again, he's menacing in the air. Finally away by Scales, but only to Ablett. Unsworth it bravely on McManaman. Rush to Bjornaby. Couple of minutes of the first half remaining. Barnes had too much pace then for his opposite number, Barry Horn. Watson colliding with McManaman, off goes Fowler. Danger for Everton here, and it's relieved by the awareness again shown by David Unsworth. Steve McManaman, who was sent crashing to the ground. It was Watson who went in very strongly and I think caught him in the face. The boot looked a bit high then, I have to say, from Dave Watson. That was his arm actually that snaked out. Dave Watson pulls back from nothing, and McManaman took the full brunt of it. As we move into the final minute of the first 45. Corner taken short. Mulby drilling it back in again. Babb. David Unsworth, who's been outstanding at the back for Everton. Keeping Robbie Fowler relatively subdued, and that is no easy task. The 19-year-old has been in such superb form up front for Liverpool. Ablett with the clearance against his old teammates from across the city. We're now into injury time. Cut out by Hinchcliffe. Hebroll. Ferguson with Scales. Barry Horn. Looking for the run of Amakachi, but so too was Philbat. But off in for a corner. Perhaps he felt there was a nudge on him there. Maybe the last chance of the first half. Hinchcliffe with the corner. Oh, James did well then to palm it away. It was at full stretch. Well, managers like their goalkeepers to command the penalty box, and James certainly good enough then to deny an opportunity to Everton. And there haven't been many chances at all for either team in this frenetic first period. Plenty of huff and puff, but not enough finesse really. McManaman, who's tormented defenders, but with no end product to Liverpool's approach play, and it's been the same story really at the other end. That's the way of it now, and then at half-time, let's hope for some goals in the second half. At Goodison Park, it's Everton 0, Liverpool 0 in the Merseyside derby. OK, going ahead in 10 seconds from now, Peter Brackley from the Merseyside derby. Welcome back to the second half of this, the 151st league meeting between the two giants of Merseyside. No goals so far, and Everton have made a change for the start of the second period. They brought on Paul Rideout, a striker, and they've taken off Matt Jackson, a defender. Whether or not that's an injury, we'll try and bring you the news on that in just a moment. But certainly it's added some extra firepower to Everton's attacking ploys. Darry Horn, I think he's slotted in at right back now in place of Jackson. So it may well be an injury rather than a tactical change. But this is McManaman for Liverpool. And the offside flag is raised against Stig Bjornaby, the one player cautioned in the first period. Just hearing it is in fact an injury. That was pretty tight, that decision. It is an injury to Matt Jackson, so some readjusting for Joe Royle, the Everton manager, to do. Rideout coming on in place of Jackson. It's Ferguson with the shot. He's yet to score for Everton since his move down from Glasgow Rangers on loan. I think that took a nick on the way. Indeed it did. It's a corner. Up comes Dave Watson, always strong on set pieces. Rideout's good in the air as well. There is Paul Rideout. He's the top scorer, remember, with 4 goals this season for Everton. Didn't make the starting lineup though under Joe Royle. Everton's third corner taken by Hinchcliffe. There was Ferguson lurking menacingly in the 6-yard box. He felt it should be another corner. The decision has gone against him. The referee ruling that it came off him. I think he's right too. Such a worry for defenders with his aerial presence. On by Horn. Rideout playing up front then alongside Ferguson, with Amokachi, I would think, just tucked in behind, which is the role he wants to play. Well, he's got his opportunity now to show what he can do. It's the way he plays for the Nigerian team. Just behind the front players. Play me there, he says, and I'll get the goals you want. On by McManaman. This is Ebrel. Planting it too far forward, though. You wouldn't question in any way their appetite for the game tonight, Everton, but certainly that's something lacking in terms of their cohesion with their approach play. Now this is promising from Amokachi. Horn. Little lucky then to shrug off John Barnes. Ebrel. Gary Ablett. It's a useful ball in towards Rideout. And he'd escaped the marking then for a second. And he'll be disappointed he didn't at the very least strike the target. Barnes for Liverpool. Turning it delightfully through now, McManaman. Liverpool's turn to threaten. McManaman! Good save by Southall. The first real save, I think, that either goalkeeper has had to make in the game. McManaman, with his sorcery then, his trickery, exposing defenders, and he found room for himself. Couldn't beat Southall. Great reaction save then by the veteran goalkeeper. Right out now for Everton. Well, it's been a vibrant start to the second half. And maybe now the arrival of Rideout will give Everton extra options up front. Player who's had a string of clubs throughout his career. Hoping now to impress Joe Royle. Royle, who's the latest manager at Goodison Park. 4th in 7 years. The Everton board will be hoping they've got it right this time. Everton, who've lost 8 of their 14 matches in the Premier so far. Just that one victory over West Ham. Amokachi. Barnes taking the throw. McManaman. Again, he's found a bit of room here. Threatening to go through again. Until he was brought down by Ebrel. That's a yellow card. Can't really see why he was complaining. When he's in full flow, he's very hard to stop, Steve McManaman. That was the only way that Ebrel could curtail his run. Now, Mulby hovering over the ball. Roddick can strike a ball as well. Bionaby is there too. Southall organising the racks ahead of him. He wants the wall further across, and there are, what, 6 in it for Everton. Rush as well. That was a strange kick. Back to the drawing board with that one. Jan Mulby, the Dane who speaks with a Scouse accent now. Barnes, no, can't get there before. Dave Watson. He's been an obdurate figure again at the back, Watson. I suppose that's the thing for Everton now. Get it right defensively first. Get themselves organised again under Joe Royle. And hope the results will come from there. Certainly scoring goals has been a major problem for Everton. And no striker in the blue of Everton has scored since, what, September the 17th now. Amokachi here and Rideout scored in a 2-2 draw with Queen's Park Rangers. Since then, the only goals have come from defenders or midfield men. Ferguson. Laid off to Ablett. Ferguson turning sharply away from Scales, but not from Jones. In goes Scales again. Everton throw. Deep cross towards Parkinson. The shot was fired in, but blocked. Rush back helping out now. Mulby. Now Ablett. Thunderous atmosphere around Goodison Park. Amokachi. Now Ablett. Here's Parkinson. To Barry Horn. Amokachi. Return by Rideout. Roddick. Very cool. Excellent composure shown then by Roddick, who I think has shown this season is a lot better player than people gave him credit for. Bit of a myth about Roddick that he was just a robust player. Well, there's a lot more to his game than that. But an extra problem for he and his fellow defenders with the arrival in the second half of Paul Rideout. Ebrel on for Amokachi. Hooked away though by Phil Babb. Everton, the statisticians tell me, had more possession in the first half. But certainly the best chance since the break has fallen to Liverpool. The shot from McManaman, expertly kept out by this man, Neville Southall. One or two suggestions he may be past his best. Well, that was his answer to his critics. Good climb again by Ferguson. Right out, ready to pounce. And safely through to David James. Right out, whose 4 goals have all come in the Premier League this season. He's actually asked for a transfer. Whether that's now been withdrawn since Joe Royle's arrival, we'll wait to see. Up goes Ferguson again. This time Scales getting the better of him. Amakachi. Unsworth. Southall, who hasn't missed a goal a game for Everton this season. McManaman. Too close, though, to Barry Horn. Ablett with the pass. Ferguson's little pick off to right out. No way through, though, for Ebrel. Still, the pace is fast and furious. Whacked forward this time by Horn. Now Bjornaby. Liverpool will look to steady it down a little. String their passes together. Babb. Too long though for Barnes. Horn. Now Watson. Ferguson holding off Scales. Gary Ablett. This is Ferguson. Amakachi brushed his way past Barnes. Oh, his strength was so admirable then, Daniel Amakachi. Well, he just powered his way past Barnes. And actually, it was a good save at the end by James, who got down to tip it past the post. Hinchcliffe with the corner. Everton's 4th. And a goal, Ferguson! His first for Everton. Oh, what relief for Joe Royle. Hinchcliffe with the corner. And the tallest man on the field was first to it. It's costing Everton a tidy sum to have this man at Goodison Park. Well, he's paid some of it back now. Brave header too. James couldn't get there, and Duncan Ferguson has given Everton the lead. "57 minutes gone. Babb in pursuit here. Well, Liverpool were very much the favourites to win this game before the kickoff. But you certainly can never write Everton off in this Merseyside derby, and they've underlined that again tonight. They might be bottom of the table, but now they have the advantage against their great rivals. Remember, a win tonight for Everton will take them off that bottom place. Free kick to Liverpool. Ferguson, who's having his troubles off the field, and certainly has had them on and off it up in Scotland. Well, they'll be behind him for the moment anyway, as he relishes the moment when he scores his first goal, and that in a Merseyside derby. Fowler's touch off. Liverpool, you can rest assured, will bounce back at Everton. Ferguson. Amakachi. Now Gary Ablett. Ferguson with Amakachi. Good strike. Well, they're playing with much more confidence now, Everton. And no wonder the fillip of the goal. Just what they needed. A goal from a striker at last too. And he knows all about that, Joe Royle. regarded as just about the best Everton striker of all time. Well, he's come back to the club from Oldham, where he's had many, many years of good service. And they'll be looking upon him now as the saviour. Roy Evans' team are up against it. His old teammate from their school days has put one over him here, at this stage anyway. But there's a lot of life left in this Merseyside derby yet. Ablett now to pump it forward. Off goes Rideout. They've looked better since he's come on. The attendance tonight just under 40,000, a packed house. Absolutely jammed to the rafters. Such partisan support, whoever you support. What a glimpse there of Peter Johnson, the Everton chairman. His first season with the club. And he'll be feeling pretty pleased with his appointment at the moment of Joe Royle. Barnes. In by Hinchcliffe. Rideout. Intelligent work there by Yat Mulby to relieve the pressure. Then a mistake by Barnes. Rideout shot. Comfortably dealt with, though, by David James. Off goes back. McManaman. Barnes dispossessed. Ablett. Barnes stuck to his task well there. Mulby to Rush. Now McManaman. What a good tackle though by Parkinson. McManaman, Rush. Free kick to Liverpool. Barry Horn was the aggressor there. McManaman is the man you feel could unhinge this Everton defence with his footwork. In fact, it was Watson who caught it. Bionaby whipping over the cross. But it falls fortuitously now for Joe Parkinson to launch another Everton attack. Ferguson hearing after it. There was Scales, though. Emerald. Now McManaman. Unsworth, they got back though to deny him a route to goal. Ferguson on for Rideout. Rannoch almost in trouble. I think he was impeded anyway. But the extra man in attack has certainly added a fair amount to Everton's play. Bionaby now is going off. Liverpool will be making a change. Jamie Redknapp, I think, is going to come on. There he is, the young man who lost out to Jan Mulby tonight from midfield place. A little bit of readjusting then for Liverpool to do to accommodate the arrival of Jamie Redknapp, the England under-21 international. Roy Evans hoping the change can transform the match. Confirmation, Redknapp on for Bionaby. Yat Mulby. Barnes couldn't control it. Fowler on Horn. Liverpool throw to the chagrin of Barry Horn. As Everton battle to defend their lead. It's a precarious one against a team of Liverpool's quality. But in all fairness to Everton, they've allowed Liverpool so few opportunities. And certainly the save by Neville Southall from Steve McManaman taking on more and more significance now as the minutes tick on. Redknapp rolled on to Jones. Here's McManaman. Molby. Redknapp's pass has caught Ian Rush offside. Ian Rush relatively quiet, and that's down to Everton's defensive strategy. But of course you could never rule out a goal for Ian Rush. You only have to look at his record down the years for that to be underlined. Hasn't scored though now for 7 games, Ian Rush. Ferguson for Rideout. Now Hinchcliffe. Amokachi at the far post. Just couldn't get his foot to the ball. Beyond Ferguson and Amokachi lashing out in vain. Back in again by Horn. Scales away. Here's Molby. No handball towards Fowler. Prodigious kick upfield by Neville Southall. So quick, in fact, he caught his teammates offside. Halfway through the second half. This compelling derby. John Barnes for Liverpool. Now Redknapp, who's such a good passer of the ball. And certainly for my money, an England international in the future. There's the current one, John Barnes. Another one, Neil Ruddock. Watson. Ablett again. Too hastily forward though. Joe Royle, who's been getting to know his players again over the past few days. Getting to know many of them for the first time. And of course he's retained his links with Everton down the years. A lot of friends he's left behind on Merseyside during his time with Oldham at Boundary Park. Jump Scales. In goes Redknapp. He'll feel he's got a point to prove, Jamie Redknapp, having been left out tonight. And he was none too pleased at his omission from earlier matches when Molby was preferred. And here's another man simply glad to be back on the Premier League stage again, John Ebrell. Having been out for quite a while under Mike Walker. All about opinions, and Joe Royle reckoned he was worth his place again. Molby. Barnes. Little 1-2 with the referee. Didn't fall though for Jan Molby. Hinchcliffe. Watson's header. Now Amokachi. Certainly playing deeper now in the second half since Rideout's come on. Hinchcliffe. Good turn by Amokachi. Trying to slip it through to Hinchcliffe here. And the cross plucked out of the air by David James. But they have been less predictable in the second half, Everton. So often in the first period they just aimed everything towards Duncan Ferguson. But now with Rideout on and Amakachi a little deeper, they do seem to have a few extra options. McManaman. Barry Horn can't get much closer than that. It's bad. Lost his footing, but the tackle was a fair one in the eyes of referee Gallagher, who has kept control well tonight. Barnes, disappointing. John Barnes, who has put those injury problems behind him this season. 3 years, really, he's been plagued by one injury or another. Ferguson tangling with Scales. He'll have to control his temper here, Ferguson. He's such a volatile character. But at the moment, his goal has set the Derby Everton's way. And maybe here's another one now. Right out! Off the post! Oh, it should have been. He'd escaped the marking completely then, Paul Rideout. And well, it's easy to say from this position, but all he had to do was steer it past David James. He was onside. Well, he guided it past him, okay, but not past the post. Liverpool's concentration at the back was awry, and the post came to their rescue. Liverpool stay in contention, but they're very lucky to do so. Well, he'll be kicking himself, Paul Rideout. Really had a chance to write a headline for himself there. As it is, the game remains on a knife edge. Joe Royle looking very unperplexed down there, keeping his emotions in check. On by Parkinson. What relief for David James. Rush with the header. Unsworth in so determinedly. Now Amakachi. Almost away from Bab. The crowd warming to him now. Daniel Amakachi, the Nigerian, who started in the World Cup finals, of course. That's where Mike Walker spotted him. £3 million, that's big money. Run by McManaman. Fowler. Watson was the covering defender. Fowler is bad. Mulby with Barnes. And the shot hopelessly wide from Neil Ruddock. Well, it fell invitingly for him. Ruddock, who has scored a couple of times this season. Joe Parkinson with an injury. Everton's other outfield substitute is Anders Limpar, the Swedish international. Liverpool also have Nigel Clough on the bench. Everybody here totally immersed in this derby, which at this moment is going Everton's way. And they are desperately in need of the points to ease their plight. They only just survived, of course, last season on the final day with their win over Wimbledon to retain their Premier League status. They've been in the top flight for 40 years now. Southall for many of them. A header from Scales, out by Watson. Redknapp in well. Bam. Mulby a little lucky to find Phil Bath that time. Now McManaman. Barnes. Foul up. Good work by Dave Watson. He's been a tower of strength again at the back, alongside Unsworth. Ablett with the pass, right out. That was with him. Now Amokachi. Scales to bring it away for Liverpool. McManaman. Mulby, Redknapp and Barnes. Ferguson. Amokachi and right out in support. There's Amokachi now. On by Ebrel. Gary Ablett. Too easy for Ruddock. Now McManaman to set Liverpool in motion again. Really needs some inspiration from him now. Well, there were two Everton defenders determined to block his path. Parkinson and Barry Horn. All look rather sinister. I think I caught sight of a streaker in the background there. But quite rightly, the camera is keeping away from him. He wants to make a fool of himself. We don't want to see it, thank you. Well, Joe Royle looking pensive, but his team have done him proud tonight. Anders Limpar, maybe he now is going to come on. Another man so keen to impress under the new manager. Well, Roy Evans with plenty to mull over down on the Liverpool bench. Been through so many derby occasions down the years. First as a player, of course. He's come up through the ranks, various coaching positions, and now finally into the manager's chair. Substitution, Anders Limpar. And Amokachi is the player being replaced. Well, he's played well tonight, Amokachi. Certainly in the second half. But now Joe Royle has made the switch to give Anders Limpar his opportunity. Another player with undoubted talent, but maybe a question mark against his application, and he fell out with Mike Walker a little earlier in the season, and also with the Everton fans too. But I know he impressed in a reserve game last week. Well, here's Mulby now trying to impress for Liverpool. Calls for foul up. Appeal for a handball. No way, says the referee. It was only a few yards from the incident. Angry Liverpool players. They felt the ball struck an arm. We'll see again maybe from the replay in a moment. Dermot Gallagher was unmoved. Laid back by Rush. Redknapp with a cross. Ruddock almost on the end of it. My word, they were close then, Liverpool. Ruddock can only have been inches away, surely. Now, was this handball? The swing there was from Robbie Fowler. And, well, surely it did come down off the arm of Paul Rideout. Well, either Dermot Gallagher didn't see it or he felt there was no offence. But certainly the replay would suggest there was a handball there. Not intentional, though, surely. Here's Rideout now, imposing himself at the other end. Bad for Liverpool, who have to raise themselves now with 10 minutes left. Watson with a free header. Fell then on Moby. Ruddock with the free kick for Liverpool. In danger of losing their 4th Premier League game of the season. They've all been away. Redknapp. Yeah, that's a foul then by Everton. Mulby to Barnes. Mulby again. Everton with numbers back now. Trying to contain Liverpool. Scales was forward again. Goal kick to Everton. So much relief when that first goal went in. Everton are the joint lowest scorers in the entire English league, along with West Ham in the Premier and Hartlepool. That only their 10th in the Premier, to the dismay of Roy Evans. And his team really haven't fashioned all that many opportunities. Certainly the best of them that fell to Steve McManaman when he failed to beat Neville Southall. That's an under from John Scales. There he was again. On this time by Ferguson to Limpar. Unsworth. Paul Rideout, who had that golden chance to have maybe clinched it for Everton. His shot striking the post with David James stranded. Third game now, though, that Everton haven't conceded a goal. So things are brightening up for them all round. And I would think that as much as anything is what disappointed Mike Walker. He felt he had at least turned the corner and he got the sack. Yellow card for Duncan Ferguson. Momentarily from hero to villain. Yeah, he lashed out then. A goal and a booking. Prodded forward by Barnes. Phil back. Barnes again. Mulby at the hub of the operation once more. Delicately chipped through. And that's courageous work by Neville Southall. Such a commanding figure. And he's made that one vital save. Ferguson. That looked to be a bit late then from Ruddock. Bewildered look from the Liverpool defender as the yellow card was raised. but it was a very aggressive tackle. Yellow card for Neil Ruddock. Right out. Tempo's beginning to fray a little. Off goes McManaman now. Limpar in pursuit. That'll be a yellow card for him. It's all getting rather heated. Now McManaman. What an escape for Everton. The intelligence there of Jan Molby to release McManaman. And, well, Southall had the confidence to let it go. Happy in the knowledge it was going to sail past the post. Quick piece of thinking then by Jan Molby. The football brain ever ticking away. But so are the minutes now. Everton have less than 5 to survive before injury time. Vaughan with the tackle. Molby. Ruddock, who's gone further forward now. Redknapp. Scales has Jones outside him. Barnes. Everton being pressed back. Molby. Careless. Picked up by Horn. Scales to Barnes. Everton happy to leave, mainly just right out upfield. It's all about holding out now. Molby to Ruddock. Concerted Liverpool pressure. Oh! Right across the face of the goal from Rob Jones. No one in a red shirt on the end of it. Hinchcliffe couldn't contain him. Well, that's how close it was. Rob Jones inches away from his first goal of the season, and how welcome that would have been for Liverpool. They're on the verge of defeat now. Less than 3 minutes to go. Right out. No, Scales got his foot in first. I think the whistle had gone anyway in Liverpool's favour. Evertonians wondering if their team are on the verge of what they will always regard as a famous victory, but especially so this season with their current turmoil, their trouble at the wrong end of the table. Forward by Molby, and there were, what, 1, 2, 3 Liverpool players then who'd strayed offside. No doubt where Southall is going to plant this if he can, as far forward as possible. The tension almost unbearable now. Fever pitch in the Merseyside derby. Everton 1, Liverpool 0. And we're almost into the final minute of the 90. Then a question of how much the referee adds on. I wouldn't think there's been all that much injury time. Molby's the last man for Liverpool. He was almost caught in possession too. Ablett. Hinchcliffe. Ferguson's in there. A mispunch. Right out. Oh, that surely has settled it now. Paul Ryder. 2-0 to Everton. And at last, a smile on the face of Joe Royle. Well, surely he can relax now. James came but didn't collect. Came back off Ferguson to ride out through the legs of Bat before James could recover his ground. The goal in the 89th minute. Maybe a little lucky in the end. In fact, going in off the boot of Babb. James almost got there, but Paul Rideout, with his 5th goal of the campaign, well, he must now have put the game beyond Liverpool. A team of great character, but even they can't come back from this now. Redknapp. And the voices being heard around Goodison Park are those of Evertonians. That's foul up. It's a corner. No goal kick. Promoted to take it a deflection. Rather sums up the night of Robbie Fowler. He's hardly had a sight of goal. Such has been the defensive qualities of Everton. They've got it right on the night. Unsworth, alongside Watson in the heart of the defence, have been superb. And indeed, he's been named as the man of the match, and I go along with that. Played for the under-21s last week, David Unsworth, the England side. And I reckon it won't be too long before he's in the senior reckoning as well. Redknapp with the free kick. Liverpool still hoping. Barnes to fire it through. And you can see the referee there making a note of the fact that Southall has whacked it away. Won't allow for any time wasting. Everton attacking their defence to defend. Moulby with the corner. Redknapp lets it run through though for Rob Jones. Now Redknapp. But surely it's too late now for the red half of Merseyside. Limpar scattering away. He's got the legs on Barnes. Limpar shot. Some agile work at goal from David James, who deny Anders Limpar, who was racing away then from John Barnes. 2 minutes into stoppage time. They've only got a couple of players in the penalty box, Everton. Limpar and Hinchcliffe sorting out the corner. This is Limpar. Now Hinchcliffe. Well, the final whistle blown, and Everton can celebrate victory under Joe Royle. His first match in charge has ended in triumph over the old enemy across the city. Duncan Ferguson with his first goal for the club since his move down from Glasgow Rangers. That's what the Evertonians think of it. And then the second late on from Paul Rideout to make sure that Everton have taken all 3 points against their great rivals. It lifts them off the bottom. They go above Ipswich, they go above Leicester. And it means that Liverpool have lost ground on the leading clubs above them up at the top of the table. Duncan Ferguson can put his other troubles behind him for the moment. One of the heroes tonight as Everton have won the 151st League Derby by 2 goals to 0.